So it seems to be a bit of a phase at the moment to talk about stuff when you were younger. So I have a book and I wrote it when I was about 10 or 11, I think. And I thought I'd read it. It's called Cliffhanger. Oh, I've got a picture. It's the first thing that's in my book. A lovely little picture there. All I remember from this story is that it's about a brother and a sister. I think one of them dies because I have a habit in whatever I write of killing my characters. That's just something I do, apparently. I've got written for, oh shit, things are falling out. I've got on the front, written for Amy Barnes, Kaylee Biggs and Chelsea Padley. So apparently I wrote this for you guys. First chapter's called Beginning of the Summer. It's so cool this holiday, isn't it? I asked my brother John. John is spelled incorrectly as well, I might add. All I go on to mention next is that John and his sister, I don't know her name. Anyway, this sister girl and John, her brother, they're twins apparently. And she's 12 years old and he's 2 minutes older than her. And apparently she has the height of a 9-year-old. Next chapter is called A Sad, Sad Tale to Tell. This sounds cheery. In the evening, about 7 o'clock, we got a knock on our door. Mum opened the door. I saw Miss Tibbs from next door, a very mean, moany neighbour. Good evening. My mum smiled politely. I would have been much nastier. Although Mum said she was old, so leave her alone. She's old, leave her alone. She can't help it. I tell you what, it stinks in here. Has one of you dogs farted? I bet it was you, Rosie. You've got a stinky bum. Yeah. Shut up! I think I remember what happens next. I think her cat's dead. Again, I like killing things in stories. Yep, the cat's dead. And guess what the cat's called? Mr. Boo-Boo. Oh my god. I'm crying for the way he died. What do you mean? I asked. I thought he had died of old age. No, she sniffed, with her face looking at the floor and the mug still in her hands. He was stabbed. Violence. Chapter 3 is called The Tale Again. So far we've met the characters of the girl who still doesn't have a name, her brother John. Oh, her dad appeared earlier, but he just said hi and that was about it. There's her mum and there's also the neighbour, Mrs. Tibbs, and her dead cat. So let's see what fascinating tales the tale again will bring. Dum dum dum! It turns out John witnessed the cat murder. Ah, I know! Well, when I was looking out, I saw, well, this man climbing over our fence in the garden to Miss Tibbs' garden. He looked in her window, then he climbed into the kitchen through the window. The one she always leaves open for the cat. Well, 5 minutes later he climbed out and ran off. Moral of this story, get a cat flap. Why didn't you tell someone? I asked. I thought I was dreaming. What made you think that? Well, he left the window open, but when I closed my eyes and opened them again, it was closed. Have you ever heard of the wind? The chapter ends with John crying at the fact that Mrs. Tibbs could have got hurt, not the cat. And then his sister, still don't know her name, she says no one would have hurt Mrs. Tibbs because she's too old for anyone to hurt. Surely no one wants to hurt an old lady. And then John comes out and says, wasn't Cassie too young? Who the hell have I killed now? Cassie was a 4-year-old girl who lived opposite us. She was beaten by her father and hardly went to school. Oh. Her dad went to jail for killing his daughter, but 2 years later, he escaped. Dun, dun, dun. He hasn't been seen since. I've put, her father escaped. He hasn't been seen since, and that was 3 years ago. In brackets, when he escaped, not the murder. Just in case you didn't quite get it. Chapter 4, people. A visitor in the night. Ooh, here we go. It's getting more exciting. Later in the night, she hears a noise, so she goes to her window. To my horror, when I looked out, I saw a shadowy figure disappear through Mrs. Tibbs' window. The man's back. Has he come back from Mrs. Tibbs? I was just about to scream when I saw John's worried face. You saw him too? He hesitated. That's who I saw the night before. Don't panic, I ordered. Just be calm. I want to investigate myself. Come on. Suddenly turned into a bit of Famous Five. Remember, John said, eyeing me. Be careful. Oh, he's left her to it. She's gone off to investigate by herself.